everybody. How is it going tonight? It's Friday night. Did you go out today? Did you deliver today? Today was actually the first Friday in the longest time that I did not do any deliveries. So we had a scrimmage for our son's baseball all-star team tonight. So that was kind of during the main supper, and then we had some other things going on during the day that we had to get done. Lots of paperwork stuff, and another thing that I'll talk about here in a little bit. So come on in. Love to hear how you are doing this week. How was your week? Are you delivering this weekend? Are you staying home? I'm going to be out pretty much all day tomorrow, is the plan, and then I will be out Sunday lunch into early afternoon time. So that's kind of my next couple of days. So I'll probably get a 12-hour day of delivery in tomorrow, followed by what is going to be six 6 hours maybe on Sunday. So not a super full weekend compared to like what I normally end up doing, but be busy out there delivering. So as you're coming in, so what I wanted to talk about today as we hop in is receive a blessing, give a blessing. Receive a blessing, give a blessing. And depending on where you're at in life, one of those might be harder than the other for you. So I want to challenge everybody on both of these ends. Receive a blessing, give a blessing. So if you're struggling in life, if there's something that's not going the way you want it to be, one of the hardest things to do is to ask for help or accept help if it's being offered to you. There are plenty of people out there who are helpful people. Maybe they're not in your circles, but there are plenty of helpful people out there who will go out of their way to help people. Sometimes they'll even go out of their way to help strangers. There are helpful people out there. But a lot of times when we're in a place of struggle, a lot of times when something's out of our control and help is offered to us, it can be really difficult to accept that help because accepting that help sometimes we equate with failure, right? Like if I if I had just done things the right way, I wouldn't have needed this help. So if I admit I need this help, then I'm admitting I'm a failure. And so it can be really difficult to receive a blessing sometimes because we don't want to admit our failures. We don't want to admit our failings. And we feel like it's kind of a form of surrender or losing or quitting in receiving help. And if you followed along with my ride along videos, you know that we currently have one car with no air conditioning in Florida. Okay. And as we are getting into the summer months, hey, George Roman, thanks for checking in tonight. Appreciate it. We're like all about, we want to help you succeed with your gig work, delivery work, growing whatever sort of businesses you want, but we want to do it in a way that challenges us to get better, regardless of whatever else happens around us. So, you know what? Hey, join me. Be another person like me, because I don't have everything figured out in this by any means, and we need more people. We need more people out there who are going to say, look, yeah, there's stuff that we don't like about life, and there's stuff that we don't like about our jobs, and there's stuff we don't like about gig delivery, and there's stuff you might not like if you start to sell on eBay and Amazon. Can you name a car for a second? Well, so we have a Pontiac Vibe. That's what we have. It's a 2004. We're driving a 20-year-old car, so it's a true beater of a beater. Thank you, Cairo, for hopping in tonight. So I just really want to encourage you, and this isn't so I'm talking maybe primarily in the area of like a financial struggle, but in any area. Hey, thank you, thank you, Cairo. Thanks for chiming in. in any area that you're struggling, it's okay to admit you need help. It's okay to receive a blessing. It's okay to do those things. So we drive a car, 2004 Pontiac Vibe, and we just recently had a family member reach out without us asking. Everybody's, oh, sorry, I just knocked my stream here. Everybody's asking for special requests here. How about this? How about I'll do some special requests here as long as you guys start smashing that like button for me, okay? You smash the like button, I will do some call outs and do some special things. I want to see that number go up because we want to get this stream out to as many people as we can. All right. So as we go, and so we had a family member who reached out and said, "Hey, we want to help. We want to pay to get your air conditioning in your car fixed," which is not like a simple thing. It's not just a, it's a significant project. And so part of everything is like we have to humble ourselves and say, like, well, I can do it. I can save up the money and I can do that. Or we can just say, you know what? Someone's giving us a gift and I can be humble enough to say, you know what? I'm going to take it. All right, Daryl. Daryl, I'll say that. I'm not sure if it's the same way. I grew up a Mets fan in the 80s, so I'm a big fan of Daryl Strawberry from back in the day. So I do know that name. Hey, hey Grim, how are you doing tonight? We need to be to the point where it's like it's okay to accept help. And maybe it's not in the financial thing for you, right? Maybe there's just an area of your life, maybe you're not climbing the corporate ladder the way that you want to, or you're not growing your business. It's okay to seek out a mentor who can help you grow to that next level. Daryl Newcomb. I feel like I'm being set up for something here. But that's the way of live streams, I suppose. And this is the world of YouTube. So as we're rolling and going into things, it's okay to seek out help. It's okay to admit. Thanks for the subscribe, Melissa. Appreciate you chiming in here tonight. It's okay to admit you need help. It's okay. In fact, if you do research into a lot of the top business minds that are out there, you will see that many of them have mentors. Many of them actually pay thousands of dollars for mentors, for people who will work. Hey, Dragon Knight, thanks for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. Um, you know, it's okay. And maybe you're not in a position to pay, but whatever it is that you're going through, if there's something in your life that you would say, hey, look, there's a true deficit in my life right now. There's something that's not where it needs to be, and I don't really know how to get it there. Um, hey, Grim, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So we focus a lot on gig delivery work, so like Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart, DoorDash here, but we also do helping scale up your small business, and we're just kind of slowly rolling out some of this stuff here and trying to really just get the beat on my audience and what you guys want, what your pain points are. So definitely want to, if you've got questions about any of these areas, you can chime in. I'll answer what I can. I still want to stay on topic, a little bit here. So it's okay to receive help. It's okay to ask for help. We don't want to abuse this, of course, but doing that. Hey, Drag, what am I good at? Um, I, this is just my personal opinion, my personal evaluation of myself. I feel I'm very good at analyzing situations and opportunities, and helping people overcome some negative mindsets that they tend to have. I think that's one of the areas that I'm really good about, but not in the traditional way of just building people up and saying, "Hey, everything's going to be all right," but in more the realistic way of saying, "Hey, have you thought about this area? Maybe this is something that, if you're not getting new results, this would be something that you could consider changing. This would be something to do." I'm also really good at being a long-suffering New York Mets and Miami Dolphins fan. Don't ask how you get that combo, but I chose two teams to root for that don't ever seem to win anything. Um, so, and I like to think, not perfect, but I like to think I'm a good husband and a good father as well. And at least I try to be, and I try to get better in all those areas every day. So it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. So if you need to hear that tonight, if you need to hear, you have permission to ask for help. You have permission to receive a blessing from someone else if someone offers it to you. Okay, you have that permission to do that. And I want to flip it around to the other side too. In the midst of your struggles, you also, I'm gonna turn off a notification up here. You also, I want to encourage you strongly to give a blessing. So we're not in the position to bless someone else by paying to fix the air conditioner in their car, but one of the coaches for my son's baseball team, they just lost a loved one who was really close to them. So what we were in a position to do was make a meal for them. It's not, obviously not one for one financially the same thing as paying for fixing someone's air conditioning in their car. But we wanted to do something to be a blessing to someone else. So, in the midst of your struggle, in the midst of trying to make the money that you need in this gig delivery world, I want to challenge you to be looking for ways that you can be a blessing to people around you. Maybe it's someone you know who's going through a tough season and you have a skill set or you have the ability that you can help them. Maybe it's just a random person you encounter while you're delivering. Maybe it's a customer who comes to your store. I know some of my favorite eBay stories that I come across when I'm looking on social media are people who end up getting reunited with like something, an object that they had lost. Maybe it was like a yearbook or a toy they had as a kid, and they were able, through searching on eBay, they were able to come around and find the very exact same thing that they had as a kid that they lost. Like those stories, and to be a blessing into someone else's life, to find ways to do that. And you don't have to do huge things to be a blessing, but you do have to be aware of other people. You have to be aware that there are other people around you who are in need. And so, I know for some of you, the receiving a blessing is hard because it's like a humility thing. And then for others of you, maybe giving the blessing is hard because you're really having to do this thinking of people other than yourself. And that can be difficult, right? If you kind of grew up. Welcome back, Melissa. Glad that you're here. So how do you do this? Well, I'm not an expert by any means, but the biggest thing is be aware. Be aware of your own situation, be aware of your needs, your deficiencies, and be willing to just listen. Be willing to hear what other people have to say, because you might have someone that's either a good friend or someone who's out of that. Am I part of the Ginger Secret Society? Here's the funny thing. Growing up, I was a blonde-haired kid, and I didn't have any sort of like red hair at all. And then when I grew out this beard, because all of this stuff decided to run away, it came out red. So it's my scotch. It's the scotch in me, not the drink. The scotch from Scotland in my heritage. So that's where it comes from. So I'm not really sure how secret it would be at this point, though. So yeah, it was funny. I was the bright blonde hair, bright blonde haired kid growing up, and my kids are all various shades of blonde as well. They don't really have the red, but I wonder when they get older if the same thing's gonna happen to them. Hopefully they won't all lose their hair like me. But I decided to run away. So that's the reality of it, right? We think we're not getting old, and the mirror tells us the truth. So it's okay. So I just want to encourage you guys tonight. It's okay. It's okay to be humble. It's okay to say, hey, receive a blessing. It's okay to say, look, I don't have everything figured out. And if there are areas that you don't have figured out, we want to definitely work on helping you if it's an area that we can help you in. So in terms of like, if you're struggling, I know, like, so if you troll DoorDash, Instacart groups on Facebook, and even a lot of the YouTube channels, it's 90% negativity. Okay, and I'm working on my next rating climb video. For those of you who don't know, I've been doing a video series of a rating climb. I started because we had tiers roll out, and I wanted to give the platinum tier for DoorDash a chance. But I started at like 19% acceptance rate, and I needed to get to 70. So I chronicled my journey from 19% all the way up to Platinum Dasher. And the current video that's probably coming out tomorrow. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you see this video, and you can go watch the first two videos. I think I have 2 videos out. This is the third one in the series. So this is a sneak peek that you get for being live here with me. I deliver it's 2 orders that total 15 pizzas from Papa John's to 2 different businesses, and neither of them tip, right? Which, there's a part of me that says, oh man, that's just so horrible. But then there's the other part of me that says, well, look, I knew that was the risk when I took that offer. And I explain it more in the video. But the point is, like, it's easy to be negative, right? Negative gets clicks, negative gets views, negative gets subscribers. But negative is where I've come from and where I don't want to go back to. Now, that doesn't mean I won't give real, genuine evaluations of things, right? Like, I've got major issues with certain things of each of these gig delivery platforms, but I'm not going to dwell on those things other than pointing them out so you know, so you can make informed decisions. And then I move on to say, okay, what's the best way around these things that we don't like? And so I can't live in the world of negativity anymore, because I spent years there, and that's what got me into some of the negative positions that I'm in now, is because I just lived in negativity and I had negative people around me, and it just broke me down. And so I just can't do that anymore. I don't even remember exactly where I went. Okay, before we go any further, what are you drinking tonight? Tonight I have this is my Beast this thing is like years old. It's got a little rock in the bottom now because it's not quite flat in the bottom. I'm just drinking water tonight, actually, believe it or not. We had a 2-hour scrimmage plus an hour of stuff beforehand, so I'm just dehydrated tonight, so I'm just drinking water. But anyway, comment below whatever you're drinking tonight. I know probably not a lot of people drinking coffee at this time of night. Grim, you were blonde when you were young, but now you're just dark brown hair person. Yeah, I have no idea what causes that. I don't know the genetics or the science behind any of that, but it is pretty interesting how that happened. Cherry Pepsi. I like a good cherry Pepsi. Cherry Coke is also good. Cherry Dr. Pepper. I like a good cherry flavored thing. We actually have in our fridge right now, because it's the end of school, so we got some fun drinks. We have a cherry limeade, like Sunkist cherry limeade, in our fridge right now. So that's also, I'm a big fan. Or like Sonic's. Have you ever gotten Sonic cherry limeade slushy? That's definitely one of my favorites. So kind of want to open up zero sugar Pepsi and a cherry Pepsi bottle. Hey, maybe there's still some remnant flavors in there, right? Like maybe that's how that goes. So I'd love to kind of hear from you guys if you have any questions, pain points. One of the biggest things I really want to just hear from you, because I know we get a different crew of people kind of each night. So, but I want to just kind of keep crafting videos that'll work in the direction that will be beneficial to you guys. My cat person or dog person? So we actually don't have either. If I had to pick one, it would be dog. I get to interact with a lot of dogs doing gig delivery work, right? Because there's lots of people who have dogs, and so I'm getting a little more comfortable around them. My buddy had a dachshund that I really liked years ago, and so I joke a lot with my kids that I'm like anti-cat and make lots of cat jokes, but I don't actually hate cats. They're too furry for me. Their fur gets everywhere. I'm not a huge pet person. We had a fish for a while, and I'm more of like a fish person. I know that's weird, but like that's like my dream Like in my dream house, I've got like a nice saltwater aquarium. So I'm a fish person more more so than cat or dog. I like a pet that I don't have to pet. Yeah, it's the cat. I can't do it. I just can't do cat hair, dog hair. I'm not allergic to it. My mom was, so I don't know. Maybe that's where I picked up just kind of that resistance. So we just didn't. I didn't grow up. We had rabbits. We had a couple of rabbits growing up, but they just hissed at me and didn't really like me. So I just didn't grow up with cats or dogs, and so it just never was my thing. But we did have fish growing up, and I've kind of always liked that. My kids like catching frogs. They caught a frog today. So, uh, but yeah, I guess I would say a saltwater aquarium would be my ideal. That would kind of be like my super cool future rich and famous pet, even though you can't pet them. But yeah, so what are your pain points if you're out there delivering? If you're looking to get into the gig delivery world, what are your pain points there? If you're looking to start your own business or expand your own business, I'd love to hear more about that. If there's simple questions, I can kind of address them here. If they're a little more complicated, then I can certainly make a video on them. So, like, if you're interested in things, so some of the video ideas that I've been thinking about and pondering in my head, things like how do you get started on eBay? How do you get started selling on Amazon? How do you sell products on Facebook Marketplace? So, those are all sorts of things. You can start a bracelet making business. That's awesome. So that's like, yeah, that's like super cool. Are you thinking about like selling at like trade shows and stuff like that, like flea market type of thing? Are you thinking about going more of the online store or a little mix of everything? Uh, that'd be really cool to hear a little bit more about kind of like what you're thinking on all of that. I did a couple years ago with a buddy of mine. We partnered together and we made a card game, an actual like a game, board game, card game type of thing. And we funded it through Kickstarter. And at some point in time, I've been talking with him. At some point in time, I'm going to bring him on, either do an interview. I don't know if it'll be a live interview or not, but I'm going to bring him on, do an interview about some of the things that he's learned. He's done a whole bunch of different business ventures in his life, and kind of want to do like a back and forth with him on all sorts of like what he's learned about Kickstarter and private label products because he's done that as well. So anyway, if you have like some specific questions, I don't know too much about the bracelet side or the jewelry side, but just in terms of getting things started, for sure, ask away. If you guys have any other questions, I'm not going to stay up too late. Like I said, I'm going to be out tomorrow. I got a 12-hour day when we are getting the car air conditioner fixed, but not tomorrow. So it's going to be a hot day, and I know I need to get some sleep. But if anybody has any questions, or if you have any other, just if you need some brainstorming ideas on how to be a blessing to other people, the simplest word I will give you on being a blessing to other people is serve. Right? Try to put yourself in their shoes and figure out what would what would their biggest pain point be, that you can relieve for them, right? You might not be able to relieve every pain point, just like I might not be able to answer every question you have. So in the case of this family that we provided a meal for, obviously we can't take away the hurt and the pain of losing a loved one. But a pain point that we knew we could take away is planning a meal and putting together a meal after a busy sports day. We were able to put everything together to be able to say, okay, well, here's one thing that we can handle for you that you don't have to worry about. Now, if you're closer to a family member, you can do things like, if it's a family member, you could grocery shop for them. You could help them, make sure they're caught up on their bills, not necessarily paying for them, but just like helping them get organized, right? There's lots of decisions that are made. There's preparations that can be made in different things. So put yourself in their shoes to the best of your ability and say, okay, if I were here, what would I want someone to reach out? And is that a skill set that I have that I can do? And the opportunities to serve are endless. There are hurting people everywhere. Some show it, some hide it, right? But there are hurting people everywhere. And I find in the gig delivery world, one of the simplest things that I'll try to do, especially with a lot of the restaurant workers, is just put a smile on their face, right? You got to remember, like, our channel goal here for gig delivery work is trying to hit the $25 an hour. A lot of these restaurant workers you're interacting with are making less money than you. Okay, if you're getting anywhere close to that, like I see, I don't know where it is. It probably depends on your area of the country, right? But there are definitely, I see hiring signs starting at 14, 15 an hour, and so Creek Squad, howdy big guy. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Strong. Appreciate you coming by. But you got to remember, you're dealing with people who are earning less money than you on at least on your good days. Maybe not on the bad days. Maybe you're making 13 or 14 on a bad day. But you're dealing with people, and they're not necessarily in the part of life that they want to be or the way things have imagined for them. So look for ways. Just look for these ways and opportunities to be a blessing to other people. And at the same time, Irish, Scottish, and Norwegian. Okay. Yeah, I got the Scottish. I don't think what am I? I'm like Scotch, Hungarian. I think it's Hungarian. I think Scotch, Hungarian, and German are like my top three. So I haven't done any of those tests where they steal your DNA to clone you in the future, so you can find out who you're related to. But I think at least according to family tradition, that's what I am. So anyway, I just want to encourage you, find ways, find little ways. Even if you don't, maybe you're not in the position to do big blessings, right? But you can bless people in big ways, even if it doesn't have to be a huge thing. The smile on the face, the compliment, the just noticing things. And it's amazing what it'll do. And honestly, there's a side benefit to this, right? The your Scottish rage. Maybe that's right, because sometimes I get angry and really frustrated, and I think it's because it's unresolved issues in my life. But maybe I'll just start blaming it on my Scottish heritage. If I can do that, I should research more into Scottish rage because I don't know much about that. Hey, Tornado, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hey, you guys see what he says? Like and subscribe, right? If you haven't done that yet. Let's see. So let me just give you a brief little channel update why you should subscribe. So yesterday put out the simple hack for Chick-fil-A sandwich that I take on the road with me. I definitely encourage you, if you're doing delivery work, I encourage you strongly, bring your own food with you so you don't spend a half an hour's worth of work on a meal. So if you're a Chick-fil-A fan, I gave you a clone. Yes, bald is beautiful, or so I tell myself. So, hey, it's Cool Creek. If you can't subscribe right now, no big deal. If you get a chance, do that. So, but don't worry about it. But even Creek, commenting on a stream like this is so huge for small channels like this. And I appreciate you guys. Love hanging out with you. Love meeting new faces, old faces. If you're just tuning in, you can rewind and listen to it later, and it'll repost. But we just talked about, it's okay if you're struggling in life to receive a blessing, and I shared a blessing that I've received. And at the same time, even if you're struggling in life, it's good to still be a blessing. And I talked about a way that we blessed a family that's hurting as well tonight. So thank you, Creek. I appreciate it so much. So doing that, but coming up on the channel. So I put up a Chick-fil-A clone recipe. Don't worry, you don't have to be a good cook to make it, but it's a simple way. So if you like Chick-fil-A, but you're trying to save some money, I put that up yesterday. So the ratings climb, I'm hoping to finish it tonight. So I'm actually going to say goodbye to you guys pretty soon because I want to get the rating climb video, which is starting at 29%. That's hopefully going to go up tomorrow morning. I'm trying to figure out if I have the ability to do my June series that I want to do, but I don't know if it's going to work. But stay tuned for that. So we have all of those things that are going on, and then I'm going to be doing probably Upside. So I use Upside for cashback on gas, and I'm doing a challenge to save up enough money on Upside to pay off one of my credit cards. And so we've been working through that, and so you can look up my old Upside video, but I'm going to be doing an update because we've added a couple new affiliates to Upside and the cash back I'm building. So I've got a goal that I'm building towards. So if you're not getting cash back on gas, you want to check out the Upside app. There's a link, and it's an affiliate link for me, and it's actually in the description of this video already, the affiliate link for Upside. If you haven't signed up yet, I don't know what it is in every market. I just had one of my new affiliates signed up, and I think their first tank of gas, they got 38 cents a gallon cash back on their first one by using my affiliate code. So it's going to vary market to market, be in gas station to gas station. But, at this point in time, you're talking, I'm closing in on getting $100 cash back on gas over the last like 4 months. And like if you're gig delivery driving, I'm filling up basically 3 to 4 times a week, right? So every time I do that with like an 11-gallon tank, I average about 25 cents a gallon with Upside. So just an opportunity if you want to kind of help me with that journey and also save some money on get some cash back on gas. That's just an opportunity for you. Like I said, there's a link below. So it's a couple of things that we're working on. We've got some other videos, and I'm always looking. So feel free to just comment whether it's this or on other videos. You know, just chime in on videos. Like if there's things that I can help you with, any form of growing your business or future business stuff. And I forget who it was who was saying starting the bracelet. That was hold on. That was Grim, right? Grim's starting the bracelet business. So you know, love to help you with those things. And like I said, the last stream, I've got connections with people who are in a variety of different entrepreneurial industries who I think I could get to come on if I can build a big enough audience that it'll make it worth their time so they can kind of promote a little bit of the things that they want to do. And I get it, like promotions aren't fun, but right, like this is what we're all out here trying to do and trying to pay the bills, and we're trying to help as many people as we pay the bills, right? Like the mission isn't money, but we need money to fund our missions for all the things that we do. Hey, Joel, thank you so much. I'm assuming that's Arizona, right? But yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get debt free eventually, and we're gonna do it together with you. And I'm gonna. That's why I'm journeying with as many people as possible, because for years I was like hiding, right? Like I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to tell people that I'm in debt. And what does hiding do when you got a problem, right? Then you're not receiving help. You're not receiving support. You don't have a team cheering you on. And over the last year or so, we've let some people in on that, and who have come side by side with us and helped us in some huge ways. And now it's like, forget it. I don't even care, right? Like at this point in time, it's like, whatever. I am who I am. And I care more about helping anyone who needs help. And I care more about that than what some troll on YouTube is going to say. Like, let the trolls come. They're going to come. I get it. But I just want to help people in the meantime, because I know there's people who have it worse off than me right now. And it's like any bit of encouragement that I can give to them. Hey, Creek, I get it. Yeah. It is hard. Like, so depending on, whatever your system or your definition of a good man, I don't care what it is nowadays. It is so difficult to stay focused on being true to the things you say you believe, right? Like it's really easy to say you believe a set group of characteristics or different things. You're full-time trolls. All right, I won't send any of the part-time trolls your way, but if I find any full-time ones, Creek, I will definitely send them your way. Ah, so appreciate it. So as long as you don't fire them up all against me, we'll be good. But no, it's hard. It is hard to what like I don't know. I don't think it's just me, because I've had this conversation with a lot of people. It's like as soon as you take a stand for something in the world of where it is, it's like you're going to be attacked and tempted to just go against what you say you believe and what you genuinely do believe, right? And so And part of that's just the reality of like, I've learned this, and I feel like I learned this way too late in life, so I'm trying to instill this in my son now, and trying to inform my daughters as well about how to look for the right type of man as they get older. Like, it's easy to talk a big game about being a good man, being doing that, but yeah, but to actually follow through and just stick with it. But yeah. All right, Grim. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time. I think I'm going to go here soon too, as well. You maybe creek. Hey, but you know what? I think as long as the people that you truly care about know that you care, that goes a long way. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's a good handful of people that I am the villain in their story. Not because I ever tried to be, but that's just how I got defined. And I'm sure they could come up with all sorts of names for me. But at this point, it's like, look, if I can't fix everything from the past. I can apologize, I can move on and do that. But it's like, you know what? Make sure those that you care about know you care about them, and take one little step every day of just showing an ounce of compassion where you might tend to not. Like, that would just be my general encouragement. But yeah, no. So I say it all the time. I'm simple. I always joke with the cashiers, like, I'll be like, yeah, Instacart gave me a small order today because they know I couldn't handle any more than that. You know, different things like that. I'm a simple man. I find that pleading ignorance, even if I do know more, seems to be one of the easiest ways to get through life. Just like, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what you think. I'll go with it. I've learned that I've become no need for apologies, only interested in revenge. Well, there you go. Is that the Scotch anger? So awesome. Well, if anybody else has any other questions, chime in. I think I'm gonna scooch because I literally just have to do a couple of voiceovers for my video, so I want to get those done tonight and get my. So there'll be a video. I think I usually set them to go at like 5 a.m. I won't be awake when it goes live, but I usually set them to go 5 a.m. so that way they hit everybody's feed as they wake up in the morning. So I think I'm gonna try that. If anybody has any other questions or anything else, hey man, the scotch, the scotch will rise again, right? Thanks, Tornado. Thanks for tuning in again. Appreciate you guys. Again, whether it's your first stream with me or you've been here for multiple ones before, I appreciate you. It's like, I was tired tonight, but I was like, man, I was actually excited. I was excited to go on live stream, even though it was later than I wanted. Normally I'm aiming more for like 9:30, 10 o'clock. But it's like, I was excited to go on because it's like, I've got my people out there who I want to hear from, and maybe they want to hear from me too. So thank you guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so. The Upside Challenge, if you want to help out with that, there's a link in the description below. All you need to do to like help with that is sign up and just use Upside one time, and that goes. And once you do that, I will be shouting everybody out who is one of my affiliates for Upside. You'll be shouted out in the next video. So we're going to build an army. I don't care how long it's going to take me. I want to get a list of names that I got to read off. So that video is coming soon. The next in the Rating Climb video is coming soon. So banned on Facebook and TikTok, so I make people happy. I'm still alive on Facebook. I never really got into the TikTok side, but thank you guys so much. You're so awesome. If you're watching this later too, add any comments or questions down below, and I'm reading everything that you guys are writing, and some of it becomes inspiration for future videos or future talks that we have. If you are out delivering this weekend, stay safe, make good decisions, have a good time out there. I hope you make lots of money. If you're just having family time and friend time and relaxation time, enjoy that as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night.